BBC Brexit News. Mr Rees-Mogg announced he will be taking to the seas to protest the recent report. The recent proposed Brexit transition deal means the UK will still relinquish a lot of control to the EU in key areas until the end of 2020, including fishing. The MP for North East Somerset, who is also the chair of the European Research Group, appeared on Newsnight to slam the recent report published by the government. He said, "This agreement gives away almost everything and it is very hard to see what the government has got in return. Somebody told me the government has rolled over but hasn't had its tummy tickled. Now, the question then is, what is the end state? Many of us can swallow a good deal that is unsatisfactory in the transition if it leads to a proper Brexit in the end." The interview comes as Mr Rees-Mogg announced he will be taking to the seas to protest the recent report. He added, "The Secretary of State for the relevant department said 10 days ago that the UK would leave the Common Fisheries Policy in 2019. I don't know what's happened in this very short period. It is very unsatisfactory. I don't make any bones about it. I think this transition agreement is very unsatisfactory. It's not just about fish." BBC Brexit News. Brexit Secretary David Davis hailed the agreement as a significant step. "The only thing that makes it acceptable is that it is leading to a proper Brexit at the end of 2020. Brexit Secretary David Davis hailed the agreement as a significant step, following talks with EU chief negotiator Michel Barnier in Brussels. But there was fury in Tory ranks amid claims that there had been a betrayal of the UK's fishing industry and the transitional deal would leave Britain bound by rules from Brussels it no longer had a say in. Some issues remain to be settled, including the thorny question of the Irish border and the governance of the eventual withdrawal agreement. BBC Brexit News. There was fury amid claims that there had been a betrayal of the UK's fishing industry. The European Commission's proposals for backstop arrangements for the Irish border remain in the new text, despite being angrily rejected by Mrs May when first published last month. They will be the subject of intense negotiation in the months leading up to the deadline for a final agreement in October. Scottish Tory MP Douglas Ross said, "There is no spinning this as a good outcome. It would be easier to get someone to drink a pint of cold sick than try to sell this as a success." Meanwhile, Tony Blair's former Chief of Staff Jonathan Powell, who played a major role in the Northern Ireland peace process, warned the Irish border question could bring the Brexit negotiations crashing down. He said Mrs May has committed the worst possible sin a negotiator can commit, having boxed herself in an article for The Independent.